Hey guys, so we had a bit of a dilemma. We came up with a solution. Thought I'd share it with you. Now before I get too deep into this, I just want to say I'm not the horse person here. Farmer Jay is, but I'm going to do the best that I can to explain this situation to you and make sense of it all. Now here's the situation. I've got two horses. They're roughly in about an 1.75 acre pasture. It's fenced and they've got a shelter in there. That's where they spend their time throughout most of the year. It's home base for them. Okay, so now this time of year, once the rain stops and the sun starts shining, the grass starts growing crazy, and what we typically like to do is let the horses out during the daytime. There's about a 3 to 4 week period where we let them out during the day. They graze. It reduces the work that I have to do for weed eating, and it cuts our feed bill in half, if not more, roughly. They come out during the day, and then I give them a little something to coax them into the pasture at night. Everybody's happy. But at this point in time, I've got a 5-year-old and 3-year-old twins, and what typically happens is there's one parent at home while the other parent's working. And on an average day, I'm home with 3 kids and 2 horses, and we're spending our time outside together. And it kind of becomes a bit of an issue because I try and keep the kids separated from the horses, but a simple distraction from one kid, and I got another kid running over to the horses. And the horses aren't malicious or anything like that, but it just creates a dangerous situation that we don't need to have happen, and I'm trying to avoid at all costs. So anyway, it was getting to a point where either we keep the horses in and don't let them out, or we keep the kids inside, or we just straight up leave the property to let the kids play. And it just becomes really inconvenient. So what Farmer Jay suggested was that we start letting the horses out at night. Now when she first suggested that, I thought it was crazy. But when she explained things to me, it made all the sense in the world. And I've even done some looking online and come to find out this is actually a pretty common thing that people do. So here's the thing, guys. This spring grass is pretty rich. And if you have a horse grazing on rich grass for too long, day in and day out, what happens is it can lead to what's called Laminitis or Founder. And essentially what it does is it creates problems with their hooves, and they end up going lame from eating too much rich grass. So sugar content with grass is at its lowest at nighttime. So that's typically considered the best time for horses to be grazing on rich grass. So anyway, letting them out at night is actually a good thing. Some other concerns that popped into my head were, well, what about their sleep pattern, and what about their eyesight? So one thing that I found online in a number of places was saying that a night with a well-lit moon, a horse can probably see about as good as a human can see in broad daylight. From my own experiences, there's been plenty of times where I've been up in the house and we can hear the horses in the middle of the night running at a full gallop out here in their pasture. So they can see what's going on. So grass content is okay, eyesight's okay. My other thought was, well, what about interrupting their sleep pattern? And consistently I have found online that it says horses sleep roughly 15 to 20 minute intervals, anywhere from 2 to like a max of like 4 hours a day. So that's really not an issue. So now at this point what we're doing is we're letting the horses out at night, they do their thing, and then in the morning one of us comes out here, coaxes them in with a little bit of food, they go in happily, and everything's cool. I can let the kids out during the day, no restrictions, we can go do whatever we want to without running into the horses, and the horses can get to come out at night and be horses. I get to have my cake and eat it too. Everybody's happy. So we've been doing this for roughly a week or so, and everything's been good. So anyways, the whole idea of letting a horse out at night kind of made me pretty apprehensive at first, but looking into it, I feel a lot better at it, and even doing it for the last few days, I don't have any concerns anymore. So anyway, this was a whole new concept to me. Thought I'd share it with you guys. I'm sure it's new to some of you. Hopefully you got something out of it. Thanks for stopping by. Catch you guys on the next one.